Hello, welcome to Church of Chug today, and we are here today with our special guest, Moms That Beer. We're gonna do the regular and chug and talk beer. So we're gonna go around first, and everybody can introduce their chugger, and then we will get into it. Shay, what did you bring today? Since you're our guest, you could go first.
Thank you. I brought a Spooky Spilled fruited sour from Urban South Brewery.
Nice.
So it's got Starburst, strawberry and raspberry in there.
I wonder how much Starburst they actually put in there.
It smells like candy. It smells like candy. Yeah, I'm about to find out.
Beer lover, what do you got?
I have Greater Good. This is 55 Funk. It's a pomegranate and guava sour imperial ale, 8%er.
Sounds really good.
Hopefully.
I love
Ricky?
Greater Good.
Ricky with the good beer.
What's up, everybody? Ricky with the good beer here. I am drinking it's called Cannibal Whip from Other Half. It's a smoothie sour with pineapples and pineapple vanilla soft serve.
All right.
So good.
And Drunken Monkey, what do you have?
So I have some Mortalis. This one is called, the hell is it called? Gemini. And it is a sour ale brewed with pineapple, blueberry, and glazed donuts. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had
like glazed. It sounded good until it said glazed donuts, and then I was like,
That's what
the can art is dope though, with the two women.
Their can art is always on fucking point. I mean, you know when you're drinking a Mortalis can. They're already completely on point with their own stuff.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. This is diabetes.
That stuff.
And today I'm going to be drinking Berry Pusher from Great Notion, and it's strawberry, blueberry, and honey. It looks a lot like the Jammy Pants one, but it's called Berry Pusher. So, all right. You guys ready to chug?
Sunday started.
Mine's still cold too. All right. Drunken Monkey, why don't you count us down since you just finished Chug Week? You have the honors.
All right. Glasses up. 3, 2, 1. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Ooh.
It's so cold. I'm gonna get a brain freeze. See, she finished before me.
Oh,
Fucking tart. Oh, it bit me in the cheek. Oh.
Yeah. I didn't even finish mine yet. Sorry.
That was sweet, man. I don't know the sweetness just made it go down way easier than normal. Like,
nope.
There's no bitterness, nothing in it, so it's like juice.
Oh,
pineapple juice.
This is so acidic. Like all of like my teeth are like bare. They're like chalky. It removes it's like an acid that removes the enamel off the teeth. That's what it feels like right now. Feels like I'm like biting on Tic Tacs.
This one definitely tastes. I can taste the Starburst in there, but it wasn't so bad. Yeah, it was.
But is it like overly sugary? Is it like really like saccharine sweet? Like can you drink more than one back to back?
I can drink more than one back to back. Although I am a little concerned with the aftertaste of it. Like the aftertaste is a little weird.
All right, real quick before we get into it, what's your favorite Starburst flavor?
The pink one.
Yes.
Mine too.
I'm like, taste the same, they each had a different color.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Pink.
fuck those people that like that yellow one. Fucking banana flavor.
No.
All right, so that was not a good chug.
Yeah.
Another question, real quick, before we get into it. I'm interrupting all day today, guys. Drunken Monkey, just real quick. I know you did Chug Week. I saw you doing a bunch of IPAs. So you're doing a bunch of fruited sours. Which ones went down a lot easier?
the stouts.
The stouts, fuck, really?
Yeah, because I had some lower ABV stouts. They were like 7-8%, and most of them were like coffee stouts and milk stouts, and they were super smooth and easy to chug. Those were probably the easiest chugs I did all week. I didn't have any like acidic, like acid reflux kind of feeling, and like, or like, you know, sometimes IPAs, they taste a little off. None of the stouts I chugged tasted bad. They were all solid.
And typically when you pour a stout, even if you pour it like aggressively or slowly, that all that carbonation rises. It never stays.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
goes. It just comes to the top, and it's so much easier to drink a fucking beer that's not carbonated.
Yeah. So I'd let them sit for a little bit and be perfect.
That's what it
All
do.
right. Back to you, Sam.
I just wanted Moms That Beer. I know she has her own thing going on her page, and she has a website, and she's done t-shirts. So I just wanted to give her a chance to introduce herself, talk about what she's trying to do. I know she has collabs and things that she's working, and you know, you don't have to tell us too much if you don't want to, but just kind of introduce yourself. And yeah,
no, thank you so much. Again, I'm Shay. I run Moms That Beer. I started the page like 6 years ago when I had my first child, my daughter, and I was just trying to connect with people in the community. I found that it was really difficult after like being pregnant to drink hard alcohol again. So beer was like so refreshing to have, because I just felt like I could get that buzz, but not like feel like shit after. So and it tastes amazing, and I love the process of it. So I started the page initially just to kind of build community, but there weren't so many moms or so many women that were really open to being like, hey, I'm a mom and I love to drink. So I just kind of like kept it to myself, and then it kind of transformed into what it is today, which is like I'm basically like a digital creator, and I like to create funny videos of, you know, relatable things that like moms or parents can really relate to. And I try to speak to different audiences. So I really, I try to speak to people that are beer enthusiasts like myself that are in the beer community. I try to speak to professionals that are, you know, brewing the beer or selling it, as well as like bringing in moms that, you know, maybe like to drink and not sure about beer or heard different things, and like, you know, maybe they stick to wine. So I'm trying to convert, you know, more moms into beer drinkers. So yeah, like Sam mentioned, I launched a shirt I guess line, a t-shirt line. It's my first of many. I just felt like, you know, a lot of us, we support breweries, and when we go there, we buy a shirt, but what are we walking into the brewery wearing? Most of the time we're not wearing anything. So I just thought, you know, moms are underrepresented in this community, and if we can like have shirts where we can showcase that we're proud moms at beer, and then we can walk into breweries like, hey, like, you know, come bring us the good stuff, you know, then we're kind of received a little bit more into the community.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that part where you said you walk into a brewery, what are you wearing? It's funny you say that, because I'm really particular about not wearing other breweries' shirts into the brewery I'm going into. And if you're spending the whole day jumping around, it's kind of like, what do I wear? And I know a lot of Beer Lover has his own t-shirts. I don't yet. Ricky, did you make your own t-shirt before?
Nope, still waiting on that one.
I haven't made my own, but I did want to bring something up. I always wear other brewery shirts when I go out.
I know other people do, but I always feel like paranoid about it. Like,
I know where you're coming from with that.
Because they're kind of type people, you know what I mean? Like if I walk in with a Monkish shirt on, I'm gonna get typed right away. You know what I'm saying?
But check this out. Yesterday I was at upstate in Suarez, right? Suarez Brewing. Walk in with my my Fifth Hammer hoodie on. Right away, two dudes come up to me and were like, "Bro, do we know you?" I was like, "No, man." But they go like, "Oh, we work for Fifth Hammer for Fifth Hammer," and I was like, "Oh shit, I do know you guys. I met you guys at the fucking festival. Never would have recognized me if I didn't have the hoodie on."
That's true.
So like we got to talking, we exchanged some phone numbers. Now I'm invited to the brewery, which I was already invited anyway, but
Well, I remember you invited people to the brewery because you said you
I
were
did.
there.
Yeah, some people thought it was a brewery. But my other point that I want to bring up is the teacher business. Very interesting, I think. I've always wondered why, like, you go to the breweries and, like, you know, there's never breweries for bigger dudes. So like, you know, so like, bro, like, you know, you look around in the brewery, and there's gonna be some big folks, bro. I want to wear some brewery shirts, you know.
Yeah.
Drinkers, we all got beer guts, dude.
That's true. I mean,
true.
There's a lot of plus size beer guys out there, you know.
And ladies.
Do you make shirts only for women, or do you guys also have like guy shirts, or
is it unisex?
So they're unisex. Right now, I like the feel and style of the Bella canvas, so that's my t-shirt brand that I use. My sizes go up to 2X. However, Ricky, like, I've heard from other guys that want to support me in the community that are like, can you up the sizes? And I'm looking into that as far as like what I'm able to get from my wholesaler. I make all of my shirts here. I have a hot press, so I'm making them personally. This is my design. I drew this, and then I hired an actual illustrator to, you know, put my design on. But no, I definitely agree that there definitely have to be some extended sizes offered. And so to your point, I don't have any like dads that beer shirts, but like this, I think my husband likes to wear this one. This is my motherly love t-shirt, and it's just got the woman sign, and she's holding a bottle with a heart in it. So, or you could just do like the OG label that's got Moms That Beer, which I know my son's sleeping in my room right now, so I can't go grab it. But yeah, my husband wears that one too.
No, I mean, I would be down to represent your brand anytime. You know, just, you know, I'm always down to represent people's brands and people's stuff. So I don't, you know, I wouldn't mind rocking a shirt like that. I wore a beer babe shirt. What's, you know, there was mine. You know, they just sent a really big one, so I was like, all right, cool, I'll fucking rock it.
Well, we could transition now into what everybody's sipping on, because Moms That Beer picked double dry hopped IPAs for us to sip on, and I know that she likes those too, so she picked like her two favorite beers pretty much. I
did.
Yeah, we'll start with you. You can tell us what you're drinking first.
So I am drinking HBCU double dry hopped hazy IPA from Crown and Hops. Shout out to Tio and Benny, who are good friends. I don't know, double dry hops are always my go-to. They're just my favorite. This one's got, I think, 7% ABV. So I don't know, it just gets me there quicker, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Beer Lover, what are you sipping on? You said you didn't have a double dry hop.
Because I think I drank my DDH a couple nights ago with somebody online, and I didn't realize that I did it. And but right now I'm actually drinking Ilford from Travis Beer Co. It's Tatipa, I think. Nope, wrong again. It's a single, 6.5, but it's an IPA. It's hazy, so
okay.
I dropped the ball on that one.
That's a good one too.
It is.
Drunken Monkey, what do you have?
Today, man.
So I do have a DDH, and it's something I've been wanting from Ricky for a long time, and he finally got it to me. Broccoli's Axe, other half and half. This is a banger. I've been sipping it already. This is killer. It's a double dry hopped DIPA at 8.5%.
And Ricky, what do you got?
So I got something from our homeboy Pedro Borracho and Cali, with a beer zombie. This is what's this one called? Here's Zombie with Mosaic Citra Galaxy double dry hopped hazy double IPA, 8.237%.
Nice.
That's the first time I've ever seen it like that. 8.37. Does that got something to do with the Shining?
Maybe.
It does look like it from the eyes, like on the front of the can. His eyes kind of look like that. Here's Johnny.
Yeah, that's exactly what I caught from that one. What is it called again?
It's called Here's Zombie.
There you go.
Here's zombie.
There you go.
Here's
There
zombie.
you go.
Yeah, makes sense.
But I'm saying the ABV, they posted it really weird. It says 8.237%.
So is 237 the room number?
Oh, that's what I'm gonna find. That's what I'm gonna find out.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is.
That'd
Yep.
be fucking. That's
I'm gonna watch
awesome.
that movie again.
Oh, that's
pretty
awesome,
cool.
man.
Yes.
Just a little homage to the fucking Room. That's great. Red
That's
Rum.
a good movie. That's one horror movie that is not super gory, but still scared the shit out of me.
Right,
So
'cause you
I
don't want to be stuck in that
appreciate
place
those.
with him.
Yeah, like everybody's gonna
237.
cringe at watching someone get their nails ripped out with pliers, like on the saw or something like that. Of course, you're gonna cringe, but like that's got a different kind of psychological scariness to it, and that part I like. And it mixes in like ghosts and that kind of stuff. It's a good movie.
The blood flood is what got me grossed out. The
Blood flood.
When
Oh,
the
yeah, with
elevators
the-
closed and the entire
Oh yeah,
was just
that was a little.
that was kind of
crazy.
fucking gross to me. But
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, 237 is the name of the number of the room.
Yep.
It is. Yep.
awesome.
I have Harland, and this one is called Rumbler. It's double dry hop pale ale, and I was surprised it's only 5.4. 5.4, and Mosaic and Nelson. Yeah, this is a West Coast, definitely, because you can, in my Rick and Morty glass, you can see it's like super West Coasty. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Looks golden, see-through.
am I the only one that likes to drink West Coast super cold, like super, super cold?
I like
Or do you
them
guys
cold.
like?
I do too.
I like, yeah, I like them really, really cold. But I think that's a thing with California. Like when we're usually drinking West Coast IPAs, we're sitting outside. It's usually hot as shit. So it tastes really awesome when they're really cold. And, I think I know beer lovers going to be like, bitch, let your beer air.
No, listen, I think I'm part of like a smaller class of people who don't drink their beers ice cold. I do like my Pilsners, Kolsch's, lagers. Those can be ice cold, but like stouts, Belgian ales, IPAs, whatever kind they are, I like them a little bit more on the warmer side. It just has
On the warmer,
the opportunity
yeah.
to breathe
I
a
think
little bit
for
better.
me, I think the clearer the beer, the colder. And then as you start to get darker
There
and
you go.
hazier,
Mhm.
then
There
you
you go.
want you
That's
warm it
a
up.
perfect way of looking at it. That's an absolutely perfect way of looking at it. The clearer, the colder. Absolutely. But wait, I need
Just
to
wanna-
backtrack a little bit. Shay, you were saying you had to stop drinking certain alcohols and convert to beer.
Yeah, no, hard alcohol is really hard on me. It's hard.
But like what was the reason, and what were you drinking before you were drinking craft beer?
I mean, before I was drinking craft beer, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bigger wine drinker. And I also drank a lot of like tequila and vodka. But I guess everything when you're 9 months pregnant, you're pregnant for 9 months, like just everything goes down as far as like what affects you. So like it wouldn't take much for me to get drunk or feel a little tipsy. And I didn't know my limits. So I was just going back to like my old portions from before I got pregnant, and would just get like it would be too much, and it would be really hard to like recover the next day. By the way, I'm so sorry if you guys are hearing the ding. I put my thing on airplane mode, but somehow all of these like voting things keep popping through, like text
We don't
messages.
hear
I
it.
don't hear
If you
anything.
can hear it. Oh, you can't? Okay, good.
No.
No, we just
I'm
hear
getting
you.
pings like, don't forget to vote for this proposition. Anyway, so yeah, it was just really hard to
Vote
recover.
24.
And that's why I was like, okay, let me stick to beer. But like, I mean, I guess I had a gateway beer before that happened. And even like my husband was actually the one who introduced me to beer, and it was Allagash White. And this is
Great
before
beer.
we were married. And so I really liked Belgian style beers already. And when we got married, our friends of ours own a brewery in Los Angeles, and they were home brewers at the time. So at the time, they brought us their home brew for our reception. So we had beer at our reception, Belgian style and IPA beers at our reception. So I had already like started building up that love. And then our honeymoon, we spent a portion of that in Belgium. And so, I mean, I was just in like the beer mecca, hanging out. And so it was just natural, like it was a natural like transition into beer once I became a mom.
Nice. I don't often hear people saying anything about, I mean, like, I don't post it much, but my personal favorite beer is Belgium style beers, but nobody really,
Yeah.
You post that on Instagram, it's like 8 likes. You post an IPA, you get so much more likes for some reason. So I don't even bother. But yeah, Belgium style beers are the ones that I go to mostly.
You gotta post that hype IPA, bro. That new fucking
Everybody
drink.
likes IPA. So yeah, it's like, I gotta be a sucker and post that shit.
Well, I also like to think that like it's your favorite because you probably don't drink it every day. It wouldn't be like, for me, a favorite is something that I savor or something that
Sure.
I have on a special occasion. So I'm not like, Belgian style is not my everyday, but it is my absolute favorite. So if I'm like visiting a brewery and they've got like a Belgian style on their menu, I'm going to try a little bit of it because it's my favorite and I want to see like what their take is on, or like what their recipe tastes like. But it's not like every day in my, refrigerator ready to go.
You have a particular favorite one, if I could ask?
I mean, Delirium is always a fun one, and it's pretty popular in LA, so I can get it in any restaurant for the most part, which I love. Like, restaurants really need to step their game up with beer. So anytime I see that on the menu, I'm getting it. And then, of course, like Allagash is as an all-time, it's always going to be like a special place in my heart.
Sure. Cool.
I really feel like restaurants could treat beer as appetizers. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they're already charging $8-9 a beer anyway. So like, make a variety and work with the local breweries. And I'm more apt to go to a restaurant that has a good tap or even can bottle list,
Yeah,
versus somebody that's just gonna throw, AleSmith down here,
Right.
San Diego, AleSmith at me every single turn of the corner. Which is a good beer, but it's like, can you at least have a stout, one IPA, one something, like just give a little bit of a variety. But
yeah, I agree. Like for us, I'm always seeing like 805 on the menu. No offense to them, but, like, I just I'm like, there's so much more in your backyard where you can like develop these relationships and get some of their kegs on for your, So I get excited. The other night I was out with some friends and I noticed Delirium was on the menu and the guy got excited serving it to me and he like brought it in like a Delirium glass and I'm like, this is a first. Like I've never been out to like some random LA restaurant where it's like not like a beer and it's like in an actual beer glass. I felt really special.
I have to ask, what did they charge you for the bottle? I know they had to charge. I mean, because I get Delirium here. I want to know what you paid for it.
So it was a glass. So I don't know, like I definitely wasn't getting the full bottle pour. And to be honest with you, like I didn't even look at the price. I was just like, I'm out, I'm free. Like, let's go. It's my birthday month. Like I was like not looking at money.
Like a full glass here, which would constitute 10 ounces, is $17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think about 15. Yeah.
That's that was the Delirium Rosé, the red one. So it was a $17 pour for 10 ounces. And the guy was like, oh, would you like another one? I'm like, no, I want to have money in my pocket for the fucking meal that I'm about to eat. So give me a Sam Adams, please.
That's one of my gateway beers. Isn't that crazy? Like I
Delirium?
I walked into a beer store one day and I didn't know. And I was like, oh, this is a cute bottle.
Pink elephant.
That's the thing. There it is. There's the hook. It's the cute little bottle that you can't see in. It's a little elephant on it. So there's the hook.
Like, why is this only in 4-packs? And the guy's like, because it's really strong. And I was like, this is for me.
Absolutely.
And then I was like telling everyone, my neighbors thought I was crazy because I lived on base and I was like offering beers to them. I'm like, this one's really good. And the one, her husband drank it and he was like, I can't drink anymore. What did you give me? Like it was super strong for him, but I don't know.
Wait, so a general question for everybody. I mean, I know on my end of things, like you're finding craft beer on the beer menu list at a restaurant, but you're not finding like really like qualitative things that you would want to have type of beers, or you're just,
Yeah.
It's very stabilized here, like very generic, always the same ones. In San Diego, it's 365 or 3? It's the Padres one that they have. They're always putting that on the list. 394. There you go. 365. Anyway, but yeah, they have that one here everywhere, or like Shock Top, Blue Moon. Like that's considered what they have for craft, and it's so basic, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how you live in San Diego and you're like not talking to breweries and getting their kegs. Like it doesn't make, even like Boards and Brews. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but it's a sandwich place around San Diego. They literally go to the breweries and get a shit ton of kegs and serve sandwiches, and they jack the prices up on their sandwiches. Are so expensive, but people still go because their tap list is amazing. So
Right. I mean, like if you think about it, the people that are going to a brewery, they're not looking to go to a restaurant to find their favorite brewery. They're going to go to the brewery.
Yeah.
And the more like, common, more popular, quote unquote, popular beers, like, for us, we're going to have like Allagash or Sierra Nevada or Sam Adams, one of those. They're going to be on that menu. It's rare that I see anything like local to us. And the ones that are local is the crap beer that is in Stanford. We have a brewery. I'm not going to name the name, but it's subpar, and you'll find their beer on the list. And I have to think that it was a brewery that said, hey, we have beer for you. And I don't think it's necessarily the restaurant that goes out of the way. I think it's the breweries that say, hey,
they go out
beer for you. Yeah.
So they need to like expand their sales, you're saying? Like,
well, pretty much. I mean, like breweries, up until, before COVID, they didn't do distribution. You'd have to go to the brewery.
Yeah,
now
that's true.
COVID forced the hand, and now they have to, they did have to, bring their beers to like, pack stores and other areas. But I don't think they're looking to do that. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't think they're looking to, go out of their way to distribute to a restaurant or something. The restaurants are not looking to get the restaurants have what they need. They're not looking to get your beer specifically. Yeah. If you want to have their beer, you have to talk to your brewer and say, look, fucking send your beer over to the restaurants. That's
I think also though, I think part of it is that craft brewers care a lot about their product, and you don't know how the restaurant is treating their lines, how they're cleaning their systems and stuff like that. So you put a craft beer on tap and they got shit lines, you're putting out a beer that's subpar, that's advertising your brewery.
Right.
That's so true.
That was something that I think one of the brewers that we had on before had mentioned, that they don't distribute because they're not familiar enough with.
Yeah. You gotta have a really good relationship with
the brewery to make sure that they're doing it the right way.
Know what type of system you're running, and
even
some bottle and beer shops. Some breweries do not sell to certain ones because they know that their system isn't up to par with what they want.
Or they're going to just keep their cans and bottles on the shelf
on the shelf. Warm and
refrigerated. Yeah. That's so true. That's actually why I stopped going to a very popular chain, because I got sick because their tap lines were not clean, and it made me extremely sick.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if I spoke to you guys about this the other day, but I had an experience. I was at this Irish bar a little while back, and I went in there. Obviously, I knew they weren't gonna have any type of IPAs or nothing. Whatever. Okay, so I was like, oh, Yingling. All right, cool. Yingling is from here, right? It's local. It's whatever. It's a good Yingling lager, dude. Right away, you can start tasting off flavors. Right away, I was like, what the fuck? All right, cool. Let me leave that alone. Fuck it, Blue Moon. I'll go with the Blue Moon. A nice, a little heifer. No, what's it called? Wit beer type. Cool. As soon as he poured it, man, I was like, that. First off, that looks kind of off color. And then, sure enough, I tasted it. I was like, they taste like rubber bands, bro.
It's fucking old.
Yeah. I was like, what is it that you have? He pours me a Guinness, fresh as fuck. I was like, that's probably why you guys only fucking pouring Guinness all night. It's fucking.
Right. And I think that's the reservations that breweries have. They're not going to have their beers handled properly. They're going to keep them outdated because they're not looking to, they want to sell it no matter what. And typically 9 times out of 10, somebody who comes into a brewery, into a restaurant that orders a quote unquote fancy fucking beer, won't know what the off flavors are, won't
He
know
said
what the colors
fancy.
are.
What I would love to see is like during a restaurant week, right? Like we all have restaurant weeks in our towns. During the restaurant week, I feel like restaurants can incorporate breweries, so it's like a guest pour, where it's like not anything you're gonna get long term, so you avoid that problem of like the dirty taps because it's only a short time. And for that week, you go to the restaurant, you get a discounted meal, and then you get to try an amazing beer. And it could bring more people to the restaurant and also bring awareness to that brewery and bring like other people into that brewery. That's what I would love to see.
Do you think that like the shortage of workers is affecting that kind of stuff? Because honestly, I poured yesterday for a brewery here in San Diego. I poured for Mujeres at the San Diego's Brewer Guild festival it was like Carlsbad area, Del Mar area. And you know, they were looking for volunteers to help pour because they just don't have enough staff. And I know a lot of the breweries right now are like short staffed. And I mean, I had fun, but I did work my ass off. Like the end of the day, I was tired, you know?
Oh yeah.
So
It's a day and a half there.
yeah, and I barely got to walk around, barely got to see anything. I like talking to people, so it was cool. And we talked about, I tried to like promote them going to the brewery because a lot of them didn't know where it was or all of that stuff. So do you think like the shortage of staff is like affecting rolling out new beers, rolling out events, or like you said, during restaurant week or beer, we have a beer week down in San Diego apparently. So do you think that's affecting like them showing up at a lot of places?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that that's a factor in it, like you said. Yeah.
So let me ask real quick. You started your page. Yours wasn't like a COVID page. You said 6 years ago, so you were in this beforehand, right?
Yeah.
You were already a beer drinker, and I know you said when you had your first kid, you kind of switched over from alcohol, but you already had kind of like a flavor for beer, or was it just as soon when that happened, like that's when you started drinking beer?
Yeah, no, I had already had a developed palate for beer before getting pregnant. And when I was pregnant for the first time, you always are like, you kind of feel left out. And I was the first amongst my friends to have a baby. So I'd still go out and be social. And so I find myself drinking a lot of mocktails and a lot of sparkling water, trying to trick myself into thinking I was like really getting
Woohoo, this is fun.
But going crazy. No, but I remember, so Mumford Brewers out here in LA, really good friends of ours, family friends, they had their 1 year anniversary and I was like 8 months pregnant. And I remember going to the anniversary party and being like, fuck this. Like I want to drink a beer so bad right now. And so, like a couple weeks later, I had my daughter. And I was like, where's my beer? Like, give me, like, I was like, it was like on my mind. It was fresh. And then literally like 6 weeks later, I was like, I'm starting a beer page. And I'm like, this is it for me. I love beer. Now, I did take breaks in between. So I wasn't like going hard. I think I went hard for like a year. And then I was just kind of in a weird place. I had some delayed postpartum depression and didn't really know that that's what it was. And so I like needed to take a break socially. So I did leave my page for a little bit. I kind of abandoned it. And then, but it's like the thing about the beer community is like, it's always going to be here and it's always expanding. So anytime I'm like, okay, I need a little bit of a social break and I come back, it's always like with welcoming arms and there's more people in the community and there's more people to follow and to connect with. And so like, yeah, sometimes you need to have those breaks, but I don't know what your original question was, but yeah.
So like as a page,
perfect. The answer was perfect.
Your page and your handles like Moms That Beer. So you were just you bring other moms on. You talk about those issues because I'm assuming you're probably not the only one that went through that. Like, so
yeah.
You guys highlight those issues because I know that's a big issue. Where some women don't think it's like not acceptable to talk about stuff like that postpartum stuff is a real issue and and just all that type of stuff. I mean, that's
for me. I am always about like, well, one, I'm about the fun, so I'm really immature for my age, and I like to I don't know if you guys follow IPAs with Angela, but that's my girl, and we met online. And she was literally like, hey, like, you seem cool. Like, do you want to get on lives with me? And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, what are we going to do on these lives? Like, what are we going to talk about? And I mean, like, I think there's a time and place for all conversations. So I'm not always like, hey, I want to hear about your postpartum or like, or depression, or like, I want to hear your birth story. Yeah. Like, I'm not like on the spot, like, let me hear about it. But I'm open to share my experience. And if anybody wants to talk about theirs, or even like where they're currently at in their motherhood journey, like, Sam, you're in a completely different stage of motherhood than I am, but I want to hear about what you're going through.
I'd like to warn people. I will warn you about teenagers all goddamn day. I will tell you. So don't worry, I got you.
I need that warning because, like we all need each other. And yeah, I'm always open to whatever anybody wants to like lay down on me. Like, hey, we're in this together. Like, this isn't just your burden to carry. You can share this and we can like figure out ways to like get through it together.
I think like the biggest thing when I watch your stuff for me is like you're a reminder that I always, when I'm talking to myself, I have to remember Samantha. You have to remember Shay, right? We're moms that beer, but we're still a regular woman that we used to be before that like to have fun and like to go out. Like, I'm still the separate person that doesn't have kids and have been out with you. Like, you go hard, you have fun, and it's like you separate everything so that you can have that me time to yourself. And like, I feel like that's the good part of your page is like, because like you, I don't have a lot of friends that drink beer. And when I try to talk to them about beer, they look at me like I'm crazy, or they're like, she's an alcoholic. You know what I mean? Like, they think all kinds of weird stuff that it's nice to see other moms that are like, yeah, girl, I get down like that too. Like, I have beers too with my husband. It's not something he has to do without me because we both like beer, stuff like that. So I appreciate that part of your page. So
you think because you're moms that you're supposed to be held at a different standard?
Other moms are the most judgy of all people.
And listen, every one of us has a mother, and we all look up to them. And so, well, not everybody, a lot of us look up to our mothers, and most moms are put up on a pedestal because we cherish them. So, in a way, it's almost like we look at them for this iconic, like, you are the guiding light, and there you are chugging a beer. So,
for me, although I am the life giver, I don't want to be put on a pedestal because I'm not perfect. And that's really what, like, being a mom's a beer is like, just being yourself and showing all parts, the good, the bad, like the fun, whatever it is. But I just want to be like normalized, just like, right. I don't want to be judged. I don't want to be like, just because I'm a beer enthusiast, like, I don't want that to be labeled as I have a drinking problem or anything like that. Like, my kids they pretend that they're drinking beer when they play with their friends. And I don't know, I did the same thing when I was their age, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I'm not trying to be anybody's role model. I'm just trying to show like, hey, I'm just me,
Much to Sam's point, you're human. You still want to live the life you had. You still want to enjoy the life that you did. But you're a mom, but you have that title. But again, it's kind of like, it's almost like there's a stigma put upon moms to be a certain way, act a certain way. You can't curse, you can't drink, you can't smoke weed, you can't. No, you're still human.
It's like you're a regular dad if you're barbecuing and drinking 10 beers. Like, nobody even bats an eye.
Right, because it's expected of you.
I literally wish a lot of I won't say I wish, I do go to the pool with beer, but I just have to hide it. Like, I have to hide that I'm having one beer at the pool with my kids. Like,
oh, because look at that mom, she's an alcoholic, she's drinking.
Yeah, like, she's out here wasted. Her kids are gonna drown. Like, you know what I mean?
My mother had heroin needles hanging out of her arm.
let me bring this controversial question up because we've talked about it in the church, and I think I've kind of changed my views, but I'm not 100%. All right, Shay. Bringing kids to a brewery. What are your takes?
That's not fair.
Oh man,
maybe
Freaky, that's not fair.
There's so many levels to this, and I will just say this: at the end of the day, it's literally whatever that family's choice and comfortable, like whatever they're comfortable with, is completely up to them. They're not like when I personally, me personally, if I had the choice, I would leave my kids at home only because I don't want the, like, I always end up being the not the responsible one, but the one that's like, hey guys, like, here's your coloring books, or do you have enough water? Do you have enough juice? I don't want to fucking do that. Like, I want to just like worry about myself at the end of the day. So my personal choice is to bring them at home. But if they do come with us, if they end up coming with us, I'm not worried about making other people comfortable. And they shouldn't be worried about making us comfortable. If you want to throw F-bombs at your table next to us, good on you. You can go do that. If you want to do shots or chug back beer, great. High five you. That's amazing. You do not have to hold back who you want to be in this space because there's children there. That's my responsibility to protect my children. That's not yours. So I could go either way, and I just feel like it's ultimately up to the family's choice of what they want to do.
That used to be my issue because, and not that I have an issue with. I mean, I'm so used to seeing kids at breweries, but like after like 3 or 4 beers, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh shit. And I catch myself like, there's a little kid there, and I feel kind of like
you don't have to.
I felt bad, but then I'm thinking to myself, the mother and father, I'm like, this fucking person, he threw the fucking wrong pass. I'm like, oh well, shit, I don't have to worry about this now. You know, it's like, and really, let's face it,
more like of parents nowadays, like we kind of have to get our kids used to cursing and stuff like that. It's on TV.
They're gonna curse somewhere anyway. They're
curse that. I'm a sailor, so of course.
Look, I'm sorry. There's probably some curse words out there that we as grown-ups don't even know because these kids
know. Yes,
they know all the words.
There's all these new languages.
It used to be a hard no, but then recently I was like, okay, you know what, like. If it's not the issue for the parents, then I don't give a fuck. You bring your kids whatever you want, but I still will not. I don't bring my kids. I still don't like to. Just only because they're gonna be bored as shit. I have preteen and teenagers, so they're gonna just be sitting there looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. Like, all right, can we leave yet? Can we leave yet? I was like, so that's why I never bring mine. But yesterday we were at one spot, and man, the parents were like. Acting like their kids weren't even there, dude. These kids were running amok across every fucking thing, dude.
Rich, like, remember that time we went to Stone?
Table got hit with the soccer ball and all this and that, and the parents were like, whatever, fuck, I don't give a fuck. So certain situations, I'll be like, listen, bro, like, I don't care if they're here, but like, go put them on the field or something. Not in the middle of the fucking everybody's drinking beer and stuff. But so it's always been iffy for me. But I like to ask people because like you did have a good answer. Like, it's up to the parents. I mean, ultimately, right?
So this is not, and this is not against, like, specifically against anybody's kids, especially the kids of people who are on, but I really don't like other people's kids. I really don't. And
we all don't.
It's just, I mean, I hate being in a place where it's like that, where kids are just running amok and the parents don't give a shit.
Where were we that the kid literally had like no clothes on? He was under the table, like running around. Where were we at? We were here in San Diego somewhere.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
It was horrible. But see, that's the thing. There's responsible parents and not responsible parents. That's everywhere you go. That's not just a brewery.
Well, I was gonna say too is I think Shay hit the nail on the head with the sense that it's the parents' job to parent their kids. Mm-hmm. If you feel comfortable taking a child to a location, whether it's a brewery, whether it's a football game or a park, and they're exposed to something there, it's not that person's responsibility Like if I'm throwing the football at my buddy and we're cursing back and forth and drinking beers, it's not my responsibility to be a good role model to your kid that you brought to the party.
Yeah, nobody needs to walk on eggshells for somebody else. I mean,
no.
But fortunately, there's, Shay and like I'm the same way as she is. I know Sam is. I'm sure Ricky is that I don't look at anybody else to parent my kids. But unfortunately, we're in the minority. There's a lot of people that bring their kids somewhere and expect everybody else to act a certain way because their kid is present.
No.
And that's BS.
I think I have places that I feel are family oriented and places that are not.
Yeah.
Like,
you know which places you're going to go to.
Exactly.
Like in New York City and more where Ricky and Al are, it's not. To be honest, it's not. They don't have it's like a straight up walk in a brewery. It's going to be like a small, like McKellar kind of atmosphere. It's grown people in there most of the time. There's nothing for the kids. But then when you go somewhere like Mujeres here, where every day of the week they have taqueria, they have mariachi, it's a family, big old patio, like people bring their dogs, their kids, everything, right? So that kind of atmosphere is different than if I went to Little Italy, to McKellar, and I go in there and it's small and they're like super concentrated on the tasting of the beer and this and that. Like, I wouldn't bring my kids there. I would bring them to Mujeres because it's like a family brewery. They have the Chula Vista here also. They have a restaurant inside. They have games. They have picnic tables. It's like, I feel that's how I gauge, can I bring my kids or not? I brought them to Pure Project at Balboa because there's a firewood pizza there. And it's like a beer garden type atmosphere versus I'm sitting in the tasting room and I'm around a million other adults trying to figure out what I'm going to feed my kid. Like, I don't do that. You get what I'm saying?
That's so true. Yeah, that's totally true. I'm trying to think, like this year, I've only taken my kids to 2 breweries. One was like, because it was like a release thing for Crown and Hops. And we went early and we found like a table in the corner and I set them up with coloring books. And the other time was Mother's Day, which is like, hello, it's Mother's Day. And then, but I do like, if there's a few breweries out here that do like winter events where they'll bring in snow and they're like, bring your kids. We tried to do that last December, but it was too many kids. And so I was like, well, like this is a lot. But yeah, there's definitely certain places that we go to and there's other places that we avoid if we're going out to drink a beer.
Yeah, there's got a feel to it, I think.
Speaking of avoid, do you have a beer that you don't drink, that you don't like?
Ooh.
Style?
Ooh, that's a good. I don't like barley wine. I do not.
A lot of people don't like barley wine.
Yeah.
I like barley. I really actually do.
And I just don't like. I try. I really, really do try. Like even if I'm at a beer festival and somebody's pouring that, I'm like, really? That's what you decided to bring? But I'll give it a try. So I just, that's not my favorite.
Just thought I'd ask. I mean, I know everybody, like for the most part, there's a lot of people who drink beer, but there's a lot of people who don't like a specific style of beer that they just won't touch anymore because it's kind of gross to them. I mean, for me personally, a traditional German smoke beer, a Rausch, an American Rausch, I do like. German Rausch, no, not at all. It's too smoky, too peaty. Don't like it.
For educational purposes, I will try anything for educational purposes.
Yes. And that's why I like to kind of go around with these guys because they're usually, especially Al with the I guess the more different ones. I always mention it, the Kentucky Common. That is something I never heard of, never knew what the hell it was, and we tried it.
Pre-prohibition beer. It's been brought
pretty
back.
Good.
It's certain hops, certain grains, certain malts that are used for that particular beer. So and it's been brought back. It's a nice beer. It's actually a very nice beer.
It's called a Kentucky Common.
A Kentucky Common, yeah.
Okay.
Not many people make it, but I think I think maybe there's about 8 or 9 different breweries that make it commonly. Ghost Brewing, I think they're in Pennsylvania. That's the one that I think I gave. That's the one that you tried, I think, Rich. They do a pretty good job.
So I have a question for the church. When are you guys gonna have a bottle share? When is the church having a bottle share?
Well,
and what city is it gonna be in?
It's funny because like the last time we were all together in a group was in North Carolina. Lock your doors when Rich is with you, because you're gonna get pictures of you in your underwear or sleeping. But no, I mean, it's funny that it's funny that you actually.
By the way, we got pictures of Al in his underwear.
Yeah, Rich has got like he's fucked. I'm fucked. Like if he wanted to screw me, he's like, look, you know what? I need you to send me some beer because I'm gonna post this.
He has pictures of all of us in our underwear.
No, I don't show us. But we were discussing this not too long ago about like when the next get together is going to be. We definitely have to do that. And if we do that, you have to come, Shay.
Yeah,
it will be awesome. Be there. I will not turn down an invite.
So actually, the next one that we were talking about was in Miami, which was the first time that we met you in person.
Yes.
So we were talking about possibly doing Irie Jungle or
Jay Wakefield, Wakefest.
The Wakefest, yeah. Yeah, if that's what you guys, I mean, like I was supposed to be going to Texas in February, but I kind of killed that off. I was going to trade a lot for Seattle, and then I killed that off. But if you guys are doing Florida, I'll be more.
I think we're talking March. I think Irie Jungle's in March.
Mm-hmm.
So
the springtime, right? Gives everybody time.
Wait, moms, Shay, you're in Florida?
No, I'm in LA. I'm in California.
Oh, so why are we talking? Wait.
So she was.
But that's where we met.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, great. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm. So we didn't realize. So when I did my trip to Miami and Ice Queen came out to visit, we didn't realize there was a beer fest that week. Mm-hmm. And we happened to see that Shay was there and Angela was coming down, but I think she came down like a day or two later.
Yeah, we came down a couple
Angela.
days later.
Yeah.
I was there for work. I completely manifested this because my work trip. No, because my work trip was originally supposed to be in January, and then it got postponed because COVID started surging again. And they were like, we don't know when it's going to be. And then that's when Angela and I started talking. And I was like, it would be so amazing if it was during Miami Beer Week. And then I could just extend my trip. And that's exactly what happened. So my work paid for like my stay basically there. And I extended it out the weekend. Angela came down from DC or Maryland. And then we just met up for the first time meeting in person, got a room together and just went to the Irie Jungle Beer Fest and went home. So it worked out, and I would definitely do that again. It was so fun. It was nice meeting the both of you. Like, you guys are so like gracious to like give me a ride. I was like, oh my God, these people don't even know me, and they're like waiting for me, and that was really cool. So,
well, see, I kind of felt the other way around. I was like, she's gonna be like, who the fuck are these creeps trying to pick me
up? They're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me, but they're gonna chop me up.
Well, we were doing family night. Yeah, we were doing family stuff most of the time that we were there. And that was like the one day we could go out and just be buck wild and go to the breweries. And we had a really good time. Like, we had a fun night that night. It was fun.
We ended up meeting Jenny over at what was that place we went? Yeah, we met Jenny. And so it would turn out to be a really fun time.
Yeah.
Jenny, 528 girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it called? Not the Source.
It was like a beer store, but not. And we were like, "Wait, why is it called a beer store?" But everyone's going there, and it's like a little tap room / beer store, and you would never know because it was like super small and the place was packed.
Couldn't even find it at first. We were driving all over, like driving back.
Couldn't find it because it's a hole in the wall.
Yes.
Those are the best ones, man. Like we have the local in Nyack. You walk by the thing 10 times, they're like,
you would never know.
This fucking the front and back doors on the same hinge. It's so fucking tiny, man.
Yeah, but you go there, you go in there, and there's cans of fucking everything you could think of.
Every fucking thing you can imagine is there, but you're gonna fucking give a pint of blood to get it because it's expensive there. Well, before we I know we're getting to that point, but before we go, because we're not going yet, I want to know your thoughts on the diversity in craft beer.
Ooh, my thoughts. I mean, it's a lot more than when I first started getting into craft beer, but we've got a long road to go through.
Yeah,
So,
man. I had to ask that question because, like, like right now, like this is a diverse group. We're all mixed people. We're, either Hispanic, Brazilian. Sam's got a bunch of things going on, but I you do. Sam's
Yeah, a
mixed,
little bit.
she's extremely mixed, and it's a good mix too. But like, yeah, like, I often find that, like, when I'm online at certain breweries to get my beer and stuff, my wife is like the first person. My wife is the whitest woman in the world. She makes Nancy Reagan look like, Angela Davis. My wife is like, there's no colored people on this line. She's like, you are the only colored man. You're like, you think I don't know this? You think I don't fucking know this? I know that full and well. They all know that full and well. So it's kind of weird when I think about it, I always have to ask somebody who has color, ethnicity, what they think about the diversity. And it's not very diverse yet, but like you said, it's getting there.
it's funny because in LA, like, we're very diverse. So you don't feel a lot of that in LA, but when you go outside of that, when you go to like Santa Barbara, like, or Paso Robles, that's where I'm originally from. If you're familiar with California, and it's not very diverse at all, and you are like one of the only, and it's either you're getting stared at or you're getting ignored. So depending on where you go. So yeah, no, I definitely think we have more work to do in the space, and we're not going anywhere. It's only going to grow. So,
yeah. I just find it funny. It's a very predominantly different ethnicity as far as craft beer goes. I don't know why that has to be the case. Everybody has taste buds, but I mean, I love to see that there is, some diversity in it. It doesn't have to necessarily be completely one single, race or, ethnicity.
Yeah.
But it's always nice to see like somebody on the other side that has like a little bit of this. I'm like,
Yeah.
I see you.
It's
You
different
stick out,
in between, like between New York and California. I think that's why California is my second home, because as far as diversity goes, like compared to New York, it's comparable. You know what I mean? Like I can feel comfortable. But then when I talk about like where I lived in Maryland, I don't feel the same way there. And it's getting better, but it's super slow. And I feel like when it comes to craft beer, even in Maryland, I remember being at work one day and I was like, yeah, I'm talking to the guys, there's a bunch of guys, about where has the best beer. And they told me there was this one place. Don't go there. It was actually two places. They're like, these two places, if you're not white, don't go there.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh, okay. And so like, I'm not used to that. Here in California, we don't hear stuff like that where I live anyway.
No,
it's not that it's like absolutely no places like that in California. There are, like she said, up north and out east or west, I guess, east. There you go. East County, San Diego. There's some places out there, but like, it's just very hard in different places to try to find craft beer that you're not going to feel uncomfortable going in there. Like it just depends on what state you're in, like where you're at. So,
and I think that, like, especially now, to try to get it out there more, I think breweries that are I'm gonna say minority owned, whether it's Black or Hispanic or women, I think that they should use that as an advertisement in a way to show and celebrate that they're uncommon. And there's a lot of people that are looking for that. It shouldn't matter, because the product is the product. It shouldn't matter, right. But it's something that should be celebrated. And a brewery like Samantha was pouring for, Mujeres, is a woman-owned brewery, and they only hire women there. And I don't think that should be a point of contention or anything, for anybody. I think it's something that should absolutely be celebrated.
Right.
And I think it should be maybe even, like I said, advertised more to show that women do have a foothold in this community, or whatever ethnic background or whatever has a foothold in this community, and they could put out just as good a product as anybody else. I think a lot of times with beer, unless you're really a nerd and know who the owners are of specific breweries, the faces of the owners you're blind to them. You have no idea. You're just picking up a beer, and probably a good 90% of the time it's a white male's face that's behind, the ownership of that place. But I don't think it's something that's necessarily talked about enough. I don't think it's something that's celebrated maybe enough overall in the community.
Yeah, I agree. Like, representation absolutely matters. And so, when I'm walking into an establishment and it's owned by a person of color, male or female, like, that's just giving me like more power to do what I'm doing in my space. And hopefully it's inspiring the person next to me to, if they're interested in beer, like getting some more education or, whatever it is that they want to do in this space. I think it's really important just to have that representation for sure.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Hell yeah, Rick, you're right.
A beer is kicking in.
Hell yeah.
No, it's true, man. It really is true. Like you guys said, I was upstate to yesterday, Albany, to be specific. I was up near Albany, so you can definitely feel the difference in the vibes.
Oh yes.
Up there, down here.
Hey, listen, man. When I'm online at fucking Treehouse, you might as well set me on fire and shove a Roman candle up my ass and let that go, because I'm the only one that's sticking out. I'm the only person that's sticking out, man.
Whereas
you red siren on my head.
You come down to Bronx Brewing or Brooklyn Brewery, or you come down to Gun Hill Brewery, and man, you feel like you're at your grandma's house, bro.
Right, exactly, because everybody there's mixed like
exactly,
especially Gun Hill Brewing. There's a bunch of you Spanish people up there.
I think when you're mixing alcohol into your day, like you're having drinks, you want to feel comfortable, because you don't know what's going to happen to you after you have 6-7 beers. Someone might say some slick shit to you. You don't know.
But here's the thing.
It's just a comfort.
In all of the years of me going to breweries and engaging with other people, it's never, I've never felt like they were not accepting of me. And you know what I mean by that? I never felt like they needed to be like, oh, I can't say certain. It was always a friendly environment. That's what I really dig about the craft beer community. It has nothing to do with race. It just happens to be that there's not a lot of diversity in it, but that's not to say that it can't be that way. It's not to say that that certain dominant race is not accepting. Everybody that I come across is extremely friendly. They're not pricks. And as long as the conversation is about craft beer, I can have that conversation with anybody. If that topic comes up, I'm in for the conversation. It has nothing to do with who I am. I'm a male, I'm Hispanic, whatever it might be. It's always been a really nice environment to be in. No one's ever given me shit. No one's ever made me feel uncomfortable.
Plus, you're very knowledgeable about beer too, though. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I mean, listen, that's the only reason I keep Al around, because he knows a lot about beer.
That's the only reason.
Thanks.
Also, his Jewish connection.
Yeah,
I have a very strong. Yes, the Shabbat Shalom, man. I have a very strong with my Jewish brethren. That's the truth.
You convert? Did they make you convert yet, or are you just still chilling?
Got the snip.
But cycle back to your beer share. Yes, we have more beer trips coming up that we haven't done one in a while. I think Asheville was our last one, right?
You know what it was? I think we went pretty hard the first year and a half.
We did. After we came off COVID.
Every other month.
Yeah. And when we went to Cali, and then we went to fucking Colorado, and then we went to oh shit. All right.
Fuck y'all. She said, fuck your couch.
She disappeared.
No. She's back.
She came back.
She said, fuck your couch.
Sorry, guys.
Fuck your couch.
It's okay.
My AirPods, they died on me. So.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh, there you go. No, but it was true. I mean, it is true. We did go hard on the trips right away. Then everybody kind of like, okay, hold on, let's slow it down for a little bit. But I'm ready, guys. I'm ready whenever you guys are ready.
No, I remember it was like, we did Washington, then you guys did Denver, then
Connecticut, upstate New York.
So yeah, no, I think the church is due to have another get together.
Yeah, we always talk to we talk to Father Ricky first. Whenever he decides he's going somewhere, I'm like, all right, we're going. We have to go. Yeah.
So if Florida is the next place, let me know I'm on a plane. My fear of flying is like, shit now. I used to be completely afraid of flying. I'm kind of done with that. I've been on.
You're ready to go
last year.
But we do have
I think the Florida one works best just because it's after the holidays.
Right.
We do have Drunken Monkey and Ice Cream coming to New York. So
we are in November. And we have a big ass Airbnb. So we were gonna say, hey, come, bottle share, crash if you need to.
Yeah.
So that might be a little quickie to
come
get us
share, bottle share.
Till the spring.
House on the lake. Yeah.
We have to invite the we have to invite Wick and his wife because they threw down.
Oh yeah,
hard man.
They really want us to go to Mississippi,
yes,
and
they do.
I do want to go there too.
So do I. I want Mississippi.
Never in my life did I think I would say I want to go to Mississippi until I met them.
I
I'm not gonna lie.
I investigated this very thoroughly. Seattle is one that I really want to do.
That's on my list. That's always been on my list, man.
I want Seattle because they have Ballard's Brewing area. There you can walk to 15 different taproom and breweries within a 2-mile radius. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go this
off. Let me stagger.
Summertime.
Yeah, let's go during the summertime.
Don't go to Seattle in the winter because it's just gonna rain and be ugly.
It's just gonna be rain. Who cares? What do you think? The beer's gonna taste any different if it's fucking rain?
No, but Seattle rain is miserable. My in-laws used to live in Seattle, and I went to visit them for Thanksgiving one year, and it kills the mood. Wait till the summertime. It's so beautiful in the summertime.
Okay.
It's not like when it rains.
You gotta buy a bunch of flannels.
What's up?
You gotta buy a bunch of flannels too.
Yeah, you gotta buy a bunch of flannels. You gotta get your Doc Martens. You gotta make sure you have all that.
Have all that ready.
Yep.
Yeah, grunge look going.
I'll bring one of my instruments.
Yes, bring your bass.
Yes, you could strum it right on the corner.
Right. I'm strumming my instrument in the corner.
Make some beer money on the corner.
Yeah.
Yes. I used to live about an hour south of Seattle, and it's a lot like New York weather, except like you think it's going to be spring and then it just continues to rain. So that's the bad part. It was like June was the only sunny month. Everything else is gloomy.
Well, look, I'd rather it fucking rain than snow.
New York has like 12 different.
We did get snow too. Yeah.
Isn't there also a time where the sun never sets? It just stays
no,
gloomy?
That's further up in Alaska. Okay. It doesn't do that in Washington. The days are kind of long, but it's a regular dark ass day for me.
Dark
ass.
Yeah.
No. I like the sunshine.
Don't forget to
That's why I like it. Yep.
All right. So we're all right. So the final thoughts are what? We're looking at Florida.
Yeah.
Florida in March.
Miami
in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking Big Willie bullshit.
Florida in the spring, Miami in the summer. I mean, sorry. Florida in the spring, Seattle in the summer.
Yeah, we could probably do if we can probably do the beginning of summer, do Seattle, and then maybe hit another spot the end of summer right before school starts.
Yes,
that would be good. That would be good.
And I would like to tote that November is Beer Week time in San Diego. So, and that festival I went to yesterday, pretty good. I liked it.
It looked fun.
It was big. There was a lot of breweries. There was a lot of space, a lot of food, porta potties. I had a good time.
You had me at porta potties.
There you go.
Rachel, what was remember the porta potty situation at the New York City Brewers Guild?
Yeah.
The line was so long. They were like, "Hey guys, there's a fucking container back there. If you guys need to go take this, just go back."
I was there the whole time, and I never waited in line. There you go.
women can just walk up and cut in front of any man.
Yeah.
We're not going to say shit to you.
There was no line. There was no line to cut.
Don't do like there's this beer festival that me and I'll go to that up in the mountains in the ski resort, and they put the porta johns like all the way in the fucking corner there, and then you're like up on a mountain, then you got to come down the mountain, fucking go
Yeah,
pee.
like the second the urge hits you, you need to go. Because it's about a good 15, 20, and like, and, you know, the older you get, that retention is not there any longer. You know,
No,
like,
it's
you know,
not, especially after
You don't
kids.
have to tell moms that. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, my pelvic.
Listen,
floor
if
drops.
there's a VIP ticket that includes like free, like quick access to a bathroom, I'm buying the VIP ticket.
I mean, we typically get VIP tickets. I never heard of that shit. Oh, that would be the creme de la creme. VIP ticket, but you get to run to the front of the line so you can do your PB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have your own.
I got the yellow
But
VIP.
don't do like Green City where you got to go outside and fucking run down the block to go pee.
That
Dude,
was
there was a
fucking
dude
rough,
when I went, there was a dude in line that you had to give him a 5-foot berth because he was wobbling like and stumbling in line like 5 feet in any direction. And we were all just like standing back watching him, just waiting for him to fall. He never fell. He kept his balance, but that motherfucker needed a wide berth.
What a mess.
All right, guys. So before we jump over here, and we're only jumping off the recording, but you can stay on. Shay, just let us know one more time where people can find you, what you know,
website,
what website, your everything that you need, and where you can buy a t-shirt and all that stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. So again, I'm Shay, Moms That Beer, at Moms That Beer on Instagram and TikTok. momsthatbeer.com. The merch apparel is fully available. So yeah, hit me up there.
Buy that merch, people.
Get it. Get your shirts.
Sam, you want to kick us off of here?
Yes. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. I love Church of Chug. Like I said, I've been like a pretend member over on the side trying to practice my chugs. So I appreciate you guys having me.
Thank you very much for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Absolutely appreciate your time, sure.
Make sure you guys go subscribe on the fucking YouTube, on the Instagram, on the everything else. Al's got a private Twitter and a OnlyFans now, so go do that.
And a Reddit.
OnlyFans.
Don't pay for the.
It's free.
OnlyFans.
It's free.
It's free on Reddit. So.
I'll pay you to watch my shit.
Guys, we love y'all. Go subscribe to everybody. Make sure you follow Shay. Make sure you follow.
Ricky become the host.
Buy everything. Because she put everything on mute, so I wanted to fucking.
There was dogs barking. Got me.
Dogs barking. See, I know. Me and Sam know. Go ahead, Sam. You got the last word, Sam. Before I hit this button.
So thank you and keep chugging. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
There it is.
Here.